Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. You're all very welcome to the membership conferring ceremony here this evening. It's great to be welcoming you all here in person. Over the last few years, our virtual ceremonies allowed us to celebrate the exceptional work carried out during some immensely difficult times, with many here today working as the unseen heroes on the front line during the pandemic. However, I think we can all agree it's wonderful to be here in person in the historic number 6 Kildare Street, and we have you're surrounded by the portraits of the previous giants of medicine, and we're very proud of the heritage and our contribution to Irish medicine and also to the international stage. So it is a pleasure to welcome you here to join in that. Before we start, I'll introduce the platform party. We have Dr. Louise Kine, Dean of the Faculty of Paediatrics. We have Dr. Dermot O'Shea, President Designate. We have Professor Mary Higgins, who's the Vice President. We have Professor Trevor Duffy, Director of Healthcare Leadership, and I'm Professor Michael Keane, Registrar and Fellow of the MRCPI. This is a meeting of the Royal College of Physicians of Ireland for the purpose of conferring membership, which I now declare open. With your permission, Vice President, I'll now proceed with the conferring ceremony.
Please proceed.
I'll now ask all the licentiates and members to stand and to read with me the declaration for membership. So we'll read this together. You just need to insert your name. So I, name, do hereby solemnly and sincerely promise that I will observe and obey the statutes, bylaws and regulations of this college relating to members, and will submit to such penalties as may be lawfully imposed for any neglect or infringement of them, including the erasure of my name from the list of members and the surrender of my diploma of membership received from the college. I further promise and declare that I will, to the best of my ability, do all things in the practice of my profession for the honour of the college and the good of the public. I further promise and declare that I will not keep open shop for the sale of medicines or endeavour to obtain practice or to attract public notice by any unworthy means, nor will I either permit or sanction the use of my name by any other person for such purpose or in connection with any secret remedy. And in case of any doubt relative to the true meaning of this engagement, I promise to submit to the judgment of the college. I now call upon the Vice President, Professor Mary Higgins, to formally admit the new members of the college to membership.
I will now formally admit the new members of the college to membership. By virtue of the authority vested in me as Vice President, I hereby admit you collectively as licentiates and members of the Royal College of Physicians of Ireland. Congratulations to you all.
So, congratulations to you all. You may all be seated. I'm going to now ask each new member to come forward and receive your parchment as your name is called. Ebital Monim Taglisser Abdelaziz, Paediatrics. Abu Bakr Abdian Abdul Rahim Abdul Hamid, Obstetrics and Gynecology. Fahim Mohammed Naji Ahmad, General Medicine. Mohammed Salahildin Mohammed Ali, General Medicine. Selaja Chandu, Obstetrics and Gynecology. Susan Clinton, Obstetrics and Gynecology. Ciara Connerty, Obstetrics and Gynecology. Mohammed Al Hassan Osman El Bashir, General Medicine. Azhar Hussain, General Medicine. Abdulwaris Aidawu, Obstetrics and Gynecology. Parijat Kaur Kumar, Obstetrics and Gynecology. Kate Lee McDonough, General Medicine. Sophia Ruth Nazir, Obstetrics and Gynecology. Roisin Nidownall, General Medicine. Rohinio Richard Norey, General Medicine. Rania Ockby Cronin, Obstetrics and Gynecology. James Douglas Postle, Obstetrics and Gynecology. The following candidates are being conferred in absentia, so I'll read their names out. Azza Abdal Roof Kalafila Asi, Obstetrics and Gynecology. Navida Gilani, Obstetrics and Gynecology. Marcin Osman, General Medicine. Chitra Palakathodi, Obstetrics and Gynecology. Noreen Rafiq, Obstetrics and Gynecology. Chibuzo Solomon Raphael, General Medicine. Saeed Hunan Raiz, General Medicine. Tahmina S, Obstetrics and Gynecology. Shazia Sadrudin, Obstetrics and Gynecology. Rania Yusuf Saeed, General Medicine. Mehdi Seidan, General Medicine. Muhammad Wali Salim, General Medicine. Rayavaram Nirmala Saraswati, Obstetrics and Gynecology. Alexander Michael Sellers, General Medicine. Faten Mohammed Selmi, Obstetrics and Gynecology. Shizra Shanawaz, Obstetrics and Gynecology. Salim Shazad, General Medicine. Tahira Shazadi, Obstetrics and Gynecology. Asifa Shokat, Obstetrics and Gynecology. Muhammad Abdallah Shazli, General Medicine. Rauf Rafat Ahmed Soliman, General Medicine. Azra Tisin, Obstetrics and Gynecology. Thin, Obstetrics and Gynecology. Sian Lin To, General Medicine. Silvana Spasi Udowet, General Medicine. Shahira Uzman, Obstetrics and Gynecology. Seema Waheed, Obstetrics and Gynecology. Hala Hassan Yassin, Obstetrics and Gynecology. Nahid Fahad Zahir Edin, Obstetrics and Gynecology. Fauzia Zahid, Obstetrics and Gynecology. So we have a round of applause for all new members. I will now ask Sophia Nazir, one of our new members, to address the new members on behalf of the college.
Thank you, everyone. Good evening. So I wanted to start there by saying thank you to everyone that is attending here today, for our president, fellows, members, families, and friends that are celebrating with us here today or a video camera everywhere around the world. First of all, again, thank you for having me. It is an absolute honor be able to say a few words in such an important and happy day for all of us here today. And if you allow me, share a bit of my journey as a BSc trainee today receiving her MRCPI in Obstetrics and Gynecology. As you can imagine and probably predict, there is a long list of thank yous that I'm going to go through now, but I believe that in a day like this one, it is important that we must acknowledge and remember those that have supported us and continue to support us every day. So I would like to start by thanking the college and its fellow members. These are our consultants, fellows, registrars. To all of them that we may not be seeing today, I want to say thank you. We learn from you daily. You are teachers and mentors. We carry with us all the surgeries and procedures we have watched you perform and the ones that you have guided us through. all the bedside lessons, your chains of thoughts, patient management, all the life tips and career guidance. All these things always pass to us with kindness and patience, at least for the most part. And to all our HCAs, nurses, and of course our fellow midwives as well, for all the obs and gynae trainees here today, that are the makers or breakers sometimes of junior registrars. To be completely honest, it is from them that I've learned how to do a layering BE, how to work on my effective and fast communication, how to work as a team as well, the importance of chocolate on a night shift, and most importantly, how to remain kind and understanding towards my patients in the most stressful situations. And for all of that, I want to say thank you in all of our behalves. And to our supporters, our biggest cheerleaders and friends and families that we're all seeing here today, and they're in their hearts as well here today. All of them, I'm sure they're wondering how many more years, how many more exams we need to go through, but they're still here with us. Our life as NCHDs and trainees can be quite hectic, but it's our close ones that keep us afloat, and they lend an ear, more chocolate, and they keep us going every day. So thank you. Lastly, I also would like to thank ourselves, all of us. We've done our work, and proud of all of us here today. We're now all colleagues and new fellow members. So we all have our different paths, different stories, but we are reaching a milestone here together. So congratulations. Lastly, I would just like to encourage everyone just to reflect on our careers so far, short in my case, but still something. Think about the challenges and opportunities that lie before us. That's something that we should look with an open heart. It is also important to remember that we have huge privilege as physicians and members of this prestigious college, and we need to hold those reflections as a beacon that will light us in our days ahead. We should do our very best to strive for the standards of excellence that this college represents and has been characterized for almost 360 years now. So, my dear fellow colleagues, I want to encourage each and every one of us, really, to continue to move forward with a humble and keen spirit. Let us try to continue to our best of our abilities always, to keep learning, developing our skills and knowledge every day. The path that we've chosen is not exactly an easy one. I think that we can all agree with that, but I think it's a beautiful one and a really excited one. So I'm really excited and grateful to join the college with all of you today. Congratulations, everyone, and I wish you the absolute best. Thank you.
Thank you. I'll now call Professor Duffy, Director of Healthcare Leadership, to address you.
I don't trip myself up with the gown first. It's lovely to see you all here on a Friday evening. It's great to see so many smiling faces. And it's lovely to hear Sophia's words, particularly the words of reflection and thought on the career to date. I suppose I'm here just very briefly to touch on the leadership and professional side of the college. And it's really important to mark today as not a graduation, but it's an admission ceremony. You've now all been admitted as members of the college, and the college is your new professional family, and we're here to look after each other. Because as we know, and as Sophia said, this is a wonderful career, but it's a very cruel master at times. And just to give you a flavour of that, I'd like, if you'd permit me, just to read something very short. There was a paper I discovered by chance many years ago. Believe it or not, doing research didn't involve PubMed. You had to sit in a library and sift through stacks of journals for hours on end. They were all in paper. And when you did that, you come across the odd little nugget by chance. And I came across this paper that was written by, it was an essay written by a collective of deans from medical colleges in the States at the time. And they were writing about what they thought was an existential challenge facing medical schools around the values and the values that they taught or transmitted to their medical students. And as part of the paper, and the bit that really struck me, they got one of what they considered their brightest and best students at the end of her training to write an essay of reflection on her years in medical school. So if I can just read a few words, a few excerpts from this. So, And then, during the clinical years, life is brutal. People are rude, the hours are long, and there is always a test. After a while, I reasoned that the most important thing I could do for my patients, for my fellow human beings, for the future of medicine as well as for me, was to assure myself some peaceful time. I made a point of hoarding my extra time for simple pleasures. In addition, I have found medical school to be profoundly humbling. I certainly understand now in a way that I never did before how people are able to change very little. In some sense, I think activism is futile. It isn't just that there will always be more to do. It's that most projects are band-aid treatments and simply provide an opportunity to feel good about oneself that isn't justified. Furthermore, I've become numb. I just tried to get through school in the hope that I will move on to bigger and better things when I have more control over my circumstances. On the other hand, I do believe that habits now formed will rarely be overcome in the future. So I regret not having spoken up on more issues, but I was often too tired. And that's somewhat bleak, isn't it? I think, unfortunately, the reality is we all see some of that in ourselves day to day. That's the challenge the career presents us. But we all know it's not the real profession, and I suppose somewhat like listening to blues music. It's when you reflect on the difficult components, you really realize the high components. So we all have to take time to reflect, and just reflect for a few moments here today about your new professional family, and look around the walls, as Michael had said. And when you have difficult times, just remember this ceremony, remember why you're here, and what got you here. Sure, it was hard work, but it was more than that. It was a sense of values, a purpose, and a belief in something bigger than yourselves. That's what led you to be here today. And so enjoy the rest of your careers. Thank you.
Thank you, Trevor. I now call on Vice President, Professor Mary Higgins, to address you.
Guests, members and fellows, it's my pleasure to welcome you all to number 6 Kildare Street, our home for the Royal College of Physicians in Ireland. Today is a day of great celebration. It is a milestone in your career, a proud day for your families and friends who've supported you along the way. We are delighted to meet so many of your new members here today to join our network of over 11,000 doctors providing patient care and supporting health services at home and across the globe. You are becoming a member of a historic college, founded in 1654. This life in this building began in 1864, led by Dominic Corrigan. Throughout the decades and centuries, throughout the pandemic, the Royal College of Physicians of Ireland has been the forefront of leading the sharing of skills and knowledge from one generation of specialist clinicians to the next. Medicine, as we're all very well aware, is a lifelong journey, and your college is here for you for the duration. The skills, the knowledge, the network you'll develop during your training here will be a launchpad for your career and future directions in life. We are a community of doctors. We lead innovation, we advocate for best patient care and outcomes, we support each other in what can be a very challenging but hugely rewarding career. I fondly remember receiving my MRCPI here with my family, and it's a very special day, and the photos are still a reminder of this moment, so enjoy your time here and savour it. Because passing the membership examination is a very significant achievement. And all the more so given that you've had a very busy clinical job and you've lived through a very interesting time to be working in medicine. It is a journey that is worth every step. Because having the letters MRCPI after name demonstrates that you've reached a standard of excellence that is trusted and recognised by employers across the world. I was in your shoes over 18 years ago, and I'm fully aware of the commitment, the hard work, the hours of study late at night, the deferral of a social life that's involved in getting to where you are. But I hope you agree that it's all worth it in the end, because what you do is you make a difference to patients' lives every day, and not many people can say that. This week, we have welcomed 350 doctors from 20 countries being conferred. We are truly an international college. And I'd like to thank all of our examiners and boards, including Dr. Lucy Ann Behan, Director of Examinations for General Medicine, Dr. James Jameson, Professor Kathleen McHugh, Dr. Helen Toit, Dr. Ona Curran, who's the Associate Dean of Examinations in Paediatrics, myself, I'm the Chair of the Obstetrics and Gynecology Exam Board, with Professor Paul Byrne, Dr. Mark Hare and Dr. Nikhil Purandare. Personally, I would like to really thank all the staff at the exams office. You might have noticed there's an awful lot of obstetrics and gynecology people today, and you're going, why are we attending the Royal College of Physicians when a huge amount of people are obstetrics and gynecology? It is because of the people in the exams office. We had a long waiting list because of the pandemic, and they were absolutely determined that people who were good people at their job, who are dedicated to patient care, would get their recognition for their MRCPI, that they would get their opportunity to pass their exams. And it's because of the people in the background that you've been getting emails who aren't here today on the platform, but have done this work that you're here today, as well as obviously your own hard work as well. It's also my pleasure to extend a warm welcome to your guests who have come to celebrate this important milestone in your career, especially the smaller members of the guests who are outside. Thank you on their behalf, I'm going to thank you for all the cups of tea, for not slamming the doors when even you felt like it, the emotional, the financial and the practical support from your parents, your siblings, your spouses, your partner, your children, your friends, your colleagues who looked out for each other when you were trying to get time off for exam leave, where you covered call for each other, where you let each other out for tutorials. You all recognise it, everybody's smiling here. We know what we all do for each other and what importance it is to have colleagues. Thank you for your support in getting them here today. Today, we are passing the baton to you, the next generation of members. The future of this college lies with you, and I hope all of you will go on to become fellows in due course. You are our future leaders. You will continue to shape our healthcare service delivery over the next years and decades. You could be looking after us in 20 years' time. Well, maybe not in obstetrics, I'd be worried. Through the college, you'll be making a difference. I would also like to mention our fellows who joined us here today, to Mark Delgany and Professor Anna Clark, who are members of the newly established MRCPI Academy, for actively participating in the ceremonies and being ambassadors of the college. I'd also like to take the opportunity to warmly welcome the new MRCPI CEO, Audrey Houlihan, who started work this week and is here with us this morning. We very much look forward to working with Audrey. This is your college. I say it again because it is that important. I encourage you to get involved with us. Our Healthcare Leadership Department, led by Professor Trevor Duffy, is continuously advocating opportunities to engage with us as an advocate, as a leader, as an examiner, and in the future as a trainer. You can share your research, you can get involved in improving medical education and training, you can influence national health policy, raise standards of care, and develop clinical guidelines. We continuously refresh and expand our educational offers that are tailored to your continuous professional development needs, and through our faculty and institute events, there are ample opportunities to visit us here and join our activities. The next step of your journey, if you've not already taken is the higher specialist training and the gaining of a certificate of completion of specialist training, bringing you to the next stage of your career as a clinical leader. And in time, as I've said, I hope you'll become fellows of the college, our highest award. I wish you all very well in your personal missions. Follow your dreams, be ambitious in your plans. My congratulations to your new members. I wish you and your girls, your guests, you and your guests, and boys and girls and everybody, a most enjoyable day. Thank you.
Thank you, Mary. That completes the conferring ceremony for membership. We would ask guests to remain here in the Corrigan Hall while the group photograph for new members takes place in the main entrance hall, and then a reception will follow the group photograph in the Graves Hall next door.